That's right, ladies and gents, today's video is sponsored by me, Mr. H. I am making my own H.P. Lovecraft horror film. Check out the GoFundMe link down below if you want to support independent and original film, and of course, H.P. Lovecraft and horror films. Breaking Lights is an exploration of depression, suicide, and mental health, and using that and H.P. Lovecraft as an allegory to explore that narrative. So check it out, the link down below. With that being said, on with today's video. Right, welcome to the channel. I saw this on Twitter last night and I was really baffled by it, so I'm glad to have a bit of context behind all of this because I genuinely didn't know what it was all about. Those guys in the UK are probably equally as confused as I was about all of this. But basically, this article's linked down below. It does a really good job of rounding up everything. Basically, Chris Pratt got called to be cancelled. And that he was allegedly a white supremacist just because he didn't take part in a Joe Biden fundraiser? What? Is that the world we're living in, really? You can have whatever political spectrum you want, but just because you choose not to support someone else, you're automatically something? Really? That's just ridiculous. This is a very interesting perspective on politics, and one which I think, and I hope you all actually take, right? And it came to my attention a few weeks ago, is that politicians and apparently social activists always do this one thing, right? And they always do it. They genuinely always do. No matter whether you're left or right, this is what they do. They present their argument and then they present the argument against it, right? So it's either or. But that's all it is. Apparently it's a coin toss. So they present what they say is the absolute truth, right? What they think is good, and then they present the absolute negative, and then they go, oh, well, you didn't support this, therefore you must be this. Oh my god. Not that there's a third, a fourth, or a fifth, or a sixth option. So that came to my attention because, funnily enough, we've been having this thing in the UK about coronavirus and locking down, and people are like, well, we must lock down because if you don't want to lock down, it means that you want people to die. And it's like, what? Nobody's saying that, you fool. It's exactly the same here. People are like, Chris Pratt not going to a fundraiser must be a white supremacist. What? He must support Trump. What? Maybe he's busy. Maybe he just doesn't want to be politically involved. There's so many other reasons why, but this is what politicians do. And social activists, who are borderline politicians at this point in time. They might as well be. It's an interesting perspective to have on the world. When you clock that that's what people do, actually, have a look at it. You'll realise that is genuinely what people do. And it was a real eye-opener to me, so I thought I'd share that with you. But basically, look, Chris Pratt was attacked as a white supremacist after not being part of Avengers-themed virtual fundraiser for Joe Biden. Despite the fact there was multiple other people that didn't turn up either. But yeah, no, Chris Pratt, renowned Christian, good guy Chris Pratt, definitely. Absolutely, yeah, yeah, pro-white, absolutely. Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World trilogy star Chris Pratt has once again come under fire from social media users, this time due to his absence from the list of attendees for an upcoming virtual fundraiser being held by his fellow Avengers Infinity War and Endgame co-stars in support of former Vice President Joe Biden's presidential campaign. So, titled Voters Assemble, the October 20th fundraiser is set to feature Q&A and trivia hosted by Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame directors, the Russo brothers, as well as appearances by Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Kamala Harris and various Avengers cast members, including Don Cheadle, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Paul Rudd, Mark Ruffalo, and Zoe Saldana. Attendance is open to the public, but requires a donation of any amount to the Joe Biden Victory Fund, which, unsurprisingly, aims to elect Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Democrats up and down the ballot. So that's the official tagline of what they were doing. That's not me misconstruing anything. That's the official thing of what they were doing, right? So interesting. But remember, there was other people that didn't turn up to this, right? And this is very clear cut, oh, hey, this is my political affiliation. Some people don't like to talk about politics. Some people don't like to talk about who they vote for. Some people like to just be silent on it. Some people don't like to, throw out their political opinions because they don't want to offend anyone, because they know that people find politics to be offensive in this day and age because everyone's, a wet blanket. So like, surely that could just be a reason, you know. Chris Pratt, he has his opinion, but he doesn't really want to share it. And there's nothing wrong in that, you know. I don't see what's wrong in that at all. I'd say that's a fairly centrist... Now, that's a pretty centrist outlook on it, isn't it? If he then suddenly turned around and was like, well, no, I'm not doing this because, you know, pro-Trump or something like that, then maybe people could... Maybe people have a reason to then go, oh, well, you know, he's pro-Trump, so therefore I don't like him. But maybe he's choosing not to voice his opinion on either side of the spectrum because he just doesn't want to be divisive. Because politics is divisive because we've become tribalistic about it. We've become this either or. Again, it's that either or. It's like, well, you're either with us or you're massively against us. It's like, well, no, some people just not interested. Like, really? Curiously, despite the absence of several notable eligible American voters among the Avengers, including Robert Downey Jr., who later actually came out and defended Chris Pratt, which is good for you, mate, seriously. Jeremy Renner, which everyone hates anyway, for some unbeknownst reason, and Elizabeth Olsen, although didn't he threaten to kill someone or something? I can't remember what he did. Anyway, Elizabeth Olsen and users on social media took specific issue with Pratt's non-attendance, with many angered by their own assumptions that this aversion to supporting the Biden candidacy meant that he was a supporter of President Donald Trump. That's the thing. It's not this weird mentality of either or. Like, it's what? That's not right. Calm down. And people went mental. Like, it was trending. That's how big it became. Damn it! I'm literally just finding out that Chris Pratt is a Trump supporter, and I'm so messed up behind that. But no one ever said he was. Like, I don't think he's ever come out and said that he was. Chris Pratt being a MAGA dummy really was not something I was mentally prepared for. Okay. Gwot thought. Okay. Cinematic Smith. Chris Pratt closet be like, really? Really? Come on, man. That's a bit extreme, isn't it? Like, that only looks bad on you because it makes you look a bit dramatic. I'm really frustrated that I can't watch Parks and Rec the same way now that I know Chris Pratt is a white supremacist. He's not a white supremacist. What the hell? However, contrary to this widespread assumption, there is no public evidence to support the claim that Pratt will be voting for the current president in his re-election bid this November. And records show that he previously donated $2,000 to the 2020 presidential campaign of US Representative Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard is a Democrat and represents Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District. So, well done, I guess. Like, what? Seriously? And here you go, yeah. Others accuse Pratt of being anti-LGBT and a supporter of gay conversion therapy. There's no evidence for that, but that's because he attends church, a church that holds traditional values, which, yeah, like, we have people in our parliament that hold traditional Christian values, but they equally say that, well, we're never going to change anything, but that's just my personal belief. This is the thing, people can hold personal beliefs, but they don't also, you know, wish to inflict that on other people. Now, Chris Pratt's a seemingly pretty nice guy. Pratt previously responded to similar accusations levelled at him by Ellen Page by stating that he was a man who believes that everyone is entitled to love who they want, free from judgment of their fellow man, which is a lovely thing to say, isn't it? Surely. And also disgusting that Ellen Page would say something like that, you know, against him, really. Chris Pratt thinks it's acceptable for a church to literally torture LGBT. No, he never said that. Oh my God. People, absolute, just mental. They really are. Absolutely. Chris Pratt's bio radiates homophobic, white Christian supremacist energy. I'm just looking for some implement to cause blunt force trauma. Because apparently that's what you need to get on in this world nowadays. Blunt force trauma. That's the only way that this stuff can make sense. This is just mental, really. Right. Okay, then. And then, obviously, Amy Berg was like, one has to go. And then loads of people voted him the Hollywood's worst Chris, apparently. It's just nonsense, isn't it? Look at it. It's just absolutely nonsense. But remember, ladies and gents, the either-or argument. That's what politicians and social activists do. They do this to create tribalistic mentality. And that's really unfortunate. And it's a really blinkered way of the world on either side of the spectrum you sit on. Because no side of the spectrum is completely right. Okay? That is just the truth. So you really open your eyes to this either or mentality. It's a real bad way to live. So sorry, Chris Pratt. Shame that you're having your name tarnished. People will forget about it though, and you will still be a millionaire. So fudge everyone else, I guess, mate. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.